thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But
Don't you know about Baluo?
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 What is Baluo?
Baluo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluo, better than sending money.
Ms. Momodu Haidara, I'm the manager for Jawel Company. We are gathered here today, I think, with regards to what is on papers, right? I will just want to take you back a little bit and give you a background recap of the whole situation. This particular area, Willingara, as some people were perceiving or insinuating that it's a public property, it has never been a public property. It was a private property belonging to another person who sold it to Jawel. All the documentations to that effect were normal. There's no doubt about that. That's not even the issue on the table. And then this place, we started constructing this place way back in, we applied for this place way back in March. That is when we proposed to build. And then when we sent that application alongside with a lot of them, among them, because we have about 10 stations that we envisage for 2020 to open. And then PURA and the other stakeholders visited the locations concerned, and then they came out with a report saying that all the orders qualified except 2. And this is Wellingara and Kairaba. And then the reason they gave to that effect was that there is a 2018 regulation, petroleum regulation, that says that when you are constructing a petrol station, it should be located 50 meters away from residents and public assembly. So based on that, they said here and Kairaba didn't qualify. Okay, when we received that letter, we said, wait a minute. How can they say this place, as you can see, the location, it's been cordoned off by roads, both sides, did not qualify because of that 50-meter rule. So we appealed to them to reconsider their decision, because that 50-meter rule has never been implemented as far as gas stations are concerned in this country. Nowhere. It has never happened before. It's unprecedented. So we asked them, based on that, let them look at it critically and come out with another solution because we disagree, simply because it has never been implemented. So why implementing it today? So based on that, they said, okay, they will revisit again, because we cited a number of issues also concerning the location of this place compared to other gas stations. When you look around as journalists, I will implore you to go around and check for yourself and look and see where you can find a gas station that is more spacious than this and that is more located in terms of cutting it of itself away from the community. You will not find it. If you find, maybe it will be one or two. I can guarantee that. So they said, okay, they will check it again. So when they came again, they revisited. They came back and they stick to their gun. They said the same thing again, that the 50-meter rule still apply. And then we appeal again. We said something needs to be done because this 50-meter rule is not feasible. We all know. They themselves invited us in a meeting, and then in that meeting they agreed that the 50-meter rule is not feasible, it's not practicable, and it is posing a lot of problems when it comes to their regulatory side, because that has been the complaint of all the stakeholders in the sector. So we said, then what's the way forward? They said, okay, we should work together now and replace that 50-meter rule with something that is of more health and safety standard rather than the 50-meter rule. So we agreed in that meeting that, okay, they said, since they said they're going to work now with stakeholders to try to modify the rule so that they will open the door for not only Jar Oil and other companies, but for the future too. 5-10 years down the line, somebody here who knows might be interested in investing in the petroleum sector, and then if that 50-meter rule is there, you might not have a property anywhere that will qualify. It means you wanted to invest, but you've been closed, you've been locked. And that, I don't think, is a fair practice. So we said, since now we have agreed that we're going to change the regulation, so we appeal to them, saying that can we be allowed to construct the structure whilst we wait for the amendment? They said, okay, they can allow that. They will allow us to do the structural work whilst we wait for the amendment. We didn't stop there. We appealed to the Minister of Petroleum also for them to mediate, because it's the line ministry. And then we outlined our concerns. They invited a meeting. They wrote back to us saying that, okay, they will consider the situation. And they wrote back to us saying that few days after that, or weeks, they invited us in a meeting whereby they summoned all the stakeholders in the industry, the petroleum industry. In that meeting, everybody who was present, including all the stakeholders, all gas station owners who are operating in the sector, agreed that the 50-meter rule is a menace. It is not tenable, it is not feasible actually, and it cannot be applied. And then we all agreed there also, we cited examples whereby the 2018 regulation itself has been violated from the onset, from the word go, because so many stations came into fruition and they didn't meet that 50-meter rule regulation. So we said it is a problem for you as the regulators, and it's a problem for us as the investors. So everybody agreed that let's change it and replace it with something more stringent, health and safety measures. And then we all agreed, and they said, okay, we'll adopt that, and they will invite a subsequent meeting to do the validation. The validation came, everybody agreed again that let it go and let it be replaced. After that validation, then we started asking questions. Since now we have agreed, it is validated, now when is the new regulation coming out? At first they said before the end of December 2020. So based on that, by then this place was at an advanced stage. It was almost finished. We wanted to open by the 20th of December previously. And then we wrote to PURA to that effect, saying that we want to open here by 20th of December 2020, because we are anticipating that the regulation would have already been into force, as we've agreed. Then later we received messages saying that no, there is some little delay. Let us shoot for 1st of January, it will be into effect. Then we wrote again to PURA, just to be in compliance again, that we are cancelling the opening of Welengara and will push for January on the 1st, since that is the promised date. So this is why Welengara was open. We informed them. So Willingara came, and then I went there on the 8th after that, trying to ask as to what is the way forward, since the old regulation is no longer there, to be in compliance, since we are always into consultations, trying to work with all the stakeholders concerned. So I went there as a courtesy and, as the right thing to do, to ask them, now, what do we do to regularize Willingara and Kairaba? And they advised, and I asked them, do I have to reapply afresh again, like putting all the package together again, fresh? Or do I just need to write and rekindle the application? And they said, no, just write and apply. So I wrote, reapplying for this place and that place. That was on the 8th of January, and I sent it to them. So I was sitting in anticipation, waiting to get a reply in kind as to this time around, what is the response? Is it going to be a yes, because the regulation that bad or specifically is no longer there? Or is it going to be a no based on some other things that we can see if we can fix it? No, but instead they wrote back to us on the 15th, on a Friday, slapping us with a fine. So I said, when I first heard about it before receiving the letter, because it was out in the public domain before we could even receive the communique, and people were calling, did you see what is online? Did you see what is posted? I said, no, what happened? They said, well, they have fined you guys. Then I rushed to the office, the letter was not there. Later I was called that the letter came, and I opened it, and I saw, among others, that we are in blatant disregard of the regulations and the enforcement and so many other stuff, which we responded to because that was wrong. Because as far as we are concerned, the only correspondent we received from PURA putting us on notice that, they have seen canopies coming up and they don't understand why and we should desist. Then we said that's a misunderstanding then, because the whole structure thing was your idea, your permission for us to start that whilst we wait for the regulation. So we consulted again, we appealed again, and then talked again to allow us to just go to the next phase whilst we work on this regulation. And that was the only notice. And we did respond in writing to them. So, and that was the only one. And I think in good faith practices as partners in development, usually when you are hitting a major company or even a small company, first you give a false notice. You see whether they will comply. Maybe they have negotiated something with you, or maybe they have not negotiated. Send another one as a reminder. And if possible, a third one, or even if you don't want to send a third one, this time find them. But you only got one. And it was all about the 50-meter rule. And then that is when we asked them this question. Why are you imposing this 50-meter rule now on these two properties, when all the properties around this country, including our own, that they already approved for us, didn't meet the requirement? So we asked them this question, why is that? And this is the question we will continue to ask up till this day. Why is it that they've been selective of these two places? I would have been glad if they come up with other reasons apart from the 50-meter. Maybe today we will not have been here, because we'll say, oh, it's a completely different thing that maybe is only specific to these two places. But there is nothing specific to these two places that is not out in the other places. Go out and see for yourself, and you will see what I'm trying to say. And these have been our cries with them, and these have been our qualms with them, for them to give us at least an explanation why these two specific places with this 50-meter rule. It is an answer we are still awaiting, and we implore the Minister of Petroleum in a letter we wrote to them for them to set up an inquiry to see whether we are lying about or just trying to be defensive. Let them set up an inquiry. Let them go out to the gas stations from 2018 to date, all those that got approval, whether they've met this 50-meter rule. As journalists too, I'm imploring you, go out there, start with Sinju, our own. I'm not going to point anyone. Start with the Jawel ones that have been approved, that have been given approval. Start with those ones and see whether they have met that criteria. They didn't. I can say this here, they didn't meet the criteria. So you see, our point here is we are all in this country to be regulated in somehow. The law is the law. If you are in business, you have to follow procedures. If you're in business, you have to abide by the rules that guides the business. But let it not be a selective rule. That is our problem. So when we find, I personally said, let's kick against it, let's fight it. But the CEO says no. It has come to a point whereby they have invoked a fine. So the moment we said we're going to challenge it and the fine drops somewhere, it's going to send a different signal. Go there and pay it first thing in the morning, Monday morning. So I went to the office because I didn't even know what amount to pay because these are two conflicting amounts. 920 some versus 1.2 million. So I went with a blank check and I asked them, how do I pay in the first place? Where do I pay? Is it in the bank? Or do you have a department where I can pay? They said, go to finance. I went to finance. I asked them, I've come to pay, but I want to know how much to pay and where to pay. They said, oh, you can pay here. I said, okay, but how much am I going to pay? They knocked heads and they said, it's 1.2 million. I drafted the check there and I gave it to them. So this is the situation and this is where we stand. So negotiations are on the way also. The last thing they told us before the meeting we had with the Minister of Petroleum was to immediately close this place and sack all the staff because that's how I call it. And I asked them, this is a country that is struggling with youth and unemployment. We are talking about Bagwe. Youths are desperate in need of jobs. So these people just started less than, a month? And you want me to go and hand them letters and say, bye, go and wait home until we resolve this problem. It's going to send a very, very, very bad signal for the country. So on basis of that, we appeal to them that let us walk through this. Since the very regulation that you are talking about, I can say as we speak now, is dead. So this is the situation. Well, thank you very much for being here. Like I said again, go and do your own research, go and do your own investigation. That's what I employ as journalists. Thanks.
Dawa no tuda?
Man Mariétu laa tudda.
Fii dafa mel ni fi nga doon jaay si essentiel bi Jah Oil fu mu nekk léegi nii génnee nañ foofu noonu cinéma bu fa nekkoon dafa mel ni da nga toxu boor bee nii loo ñu mën a wax si essentiel boo xam ne dañ ko bil fii
li ma leen mën a wax maa ngi leen ay nuyu njëkka di leen gërëm di leen santa li ma mën a wax si essentiel yi man 2002 maa ngi fiy jaay fii laay luyaas si kër bi ma jaay fi ba Jah Oil ñëw jënda fii bi Jah Oil ñëwee jënda ko daf ko jënd ak xaalisam mu fekkoon fi ay nit nag ñu luyaas fekk fi ay magasin mu may leen 3 months notice bu kenn fay du ci biir kër bi du ci borom bitig yi 3 months si jot gars yi génnuñ mu mayaat leen yeneen 2 months gars yi fayuñ dara bañ génna biñ génnee ñu sampa fi waaye cinéma bi mu dooree ñun sampi Jah Oil bi dañ ci sant yàlla ñun ñi dëkk ci gox bi ñun sant nañ yàlla ci essentiel bi xam nga lu tax ñu sant ci yàlla essentiel cinéma bi ghetto la woon xale bu yàqu fii nga yàqoo ci cinéma bi xale bu jàngee tuxtaay fii ci cinéma bi nga ko jàngee xale bu jigéen bu amul fukki at ak juróom su programme amee damay jaay ba fajar bu ñuy nodda fajar laay takka suma bool yi dugg ci biir kër gi fii xale bu jigéen bu yàqu fii ci cinéma bi nga yàqoo xale boo xam ne amuloo fukki at ak juróom sax nga sol lu bon ñuy tuxtaay di door bu tee ci mbedam di sànni di saaga ndey di saaga baay fii kenn ñeme ñu ta génn guddi nga taxaw fii nga ne yaa ngi ut moto fajar waaye léegi bu ñu neexee time bu ñu neexee fii sax suñu neexee ñu jóg toog fii taxaw fii ba am moto amul ragal amul tiit parce que lampa yëpp a ngi taal ñun suñ area bi ñun ñëpp dañ kontaan ci essentiel bi dañ ci sant yàlla parce que kenn daanu nelaw guddi kenn daanu nelaw bëccëg te fii ku wax ne dañ fi def daayra fii kenn mosu fee def daayra fii programme lañ fi def musique ndongoy rek ñoo fi dee nekk di xeex di jamante di def lu nekk nga gis xale yu ndaw yoo xam ne dañu réer seen yaay 1 week seen yaay duñ leen gis muy xale jigéen yi ñun suñ jógee ci programme bi ànd nañu xale góor yi dem ñun de ñun lii dafa sedda suñ xol ñun lii amuñ dara luñ si wax xanaa di ñaanal jàpp li mu sumbal ñi yàlla suñ borom bi képp ku jóg nga ne yaa ngi koy xeex ci fii mu ko sampa yàlla suñu borom bi yal na la yàlla atte boromam ñun dañ kontaan fii parce que am nañ jàmm léegi.
léegi jaaykat yi fa nekkoon yéen dafa mel ni ñu bari jógee nañ foofu noonu loolu bàyyi fe
yu bari ñu ngi nii fii magasin yaa ngi nii fii magasin yi nekkuñ fi woon waaye biñ génnee dañ leen jox fii ay magasin ñu ñuy sampal seen boppa toog di jaay ñuy fekk ñu fa ñu xajal ñeneen waaw.
Sow laa sant Kumba Sow.
loo ñu mën a wax si essentiel bi.
lu ma leen mën a wax ci essentiel bi kana may sant yonent bi de julli de sant jàmm nag bu baax ndax bu ñëwee ba léegi ñu ngi am jàmm ñu ngi am firi ñaari doomi góor la ma yàlla may fii ci cinéma bi lañ jàngee tu ci lañ jàngee doxaan ci lañ jàngee lu bon ba léegi mënuma dégg ak ñoom bot bu yàlla sakk ma ngi ci sëriñ de ut lu ma déddale su may njaboot ci tox te fii lañ ko jëlee ci cinéma bi suñ fi fanaanee fajar nañuy ñëw suñ kër ma fanaan na xuloo suma jëkkër ba bot set ndekol bu tàng bi jaaweel jëndee fii nag ñun alhamdulilahi rabbil alamin ñëpp am jàmm ñu am tawfeex te ñu ngi koy ñaanal yàlla lum sumb yal na ko yàlla sottal waaye ñun dekkamuñ fi lu bon gisuñ fi dara loo xam ne jaaw bi fi nee bu néegi ñaaw na déedéet dara ñaawul fi fii tugtaay ak sànni butéel ak dama doon jaay fii soow duma ñemee ñibbi maa ngi ñibbi ba Sinthiou Baliya dama doon jaay ba naayin ma daw ñibbi waaye balaa maa ñibbi fekke gune ndongo yi xar nañ ma ba suma booy ñoo ma dee dimbale ma dem ñibbi ndek cinéma bi foo rombe nga romb ñetti góor kaley góor ñeenti koley góor fii jàmm amul fi de jàmm amul fi honde waaye léegi ñu ngi am jàmm ñu ngi sant yàlla ñu ngi sant ja ku la wax ne fii amoon na fii bi ja sampe lañ am kii déedéet bi si cinéma bi nekkee lañ am xay seytaane guddi seytaane bëccëg tugtaay biiral jànqay liire lañ fi nekkee xoon dara baaxul fi xoon doo nelew guddi doo nelew bëccëg léegi nag nit ñaa ngi am jàmm ñu ngi am firi ñu ngi sant yàlla de ñaanal ja lum sumb yal na ci yàlla def barke lii rek laa am lu ma ci wax man.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamsel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamsel, Yaibaram.
Agada
mbijan aganyadi
albaka
mbaka important
yo nga transfer la sto
ya transfer la
ha code nyenji
okay personal nsila id soton
sa sorry agada
mbijan ro
albaka
mbaka
bara alla service o tariya
mbare
ki janna nun kunu bara tariya
jannom yona forest de bureau gambia tonkon nano mbari ya bere birim koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to
56 branches mola sota gambia jam gambia kono ani gambia bantala bankol nka kodo kiya bele kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw jannam number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma ni domorol ni fana beteat gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina
yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel chosano lo
abaraka
yara nyilla domoro ka diaten
boy janno sikes restaurant
e sai nakko be ni na dimbal nimba domoro kala janno
domoro seneyata adiyata topotoro fanan kendema bije luntan during tamala abeka domoro ki janni adi manda wala de teka we bijele anim fanan ka fadi jang ikono e fa e ka fa minne ko pastry anim bakery iko fanan be kalele badde lomba conference lomba workshop lomba ye fo fendin lon dunia kono domoro betama nyillom international to wada number 1
amanke ba domola jandama
e sa domo jang is atariya
wo mu kubandi
sa nakko sa futandi
e oto sa nakko be mu CK's restaurant
dafa nan janna mu yat ni manje dorom bijam
aban
CK's restaurant known for best quality food and customer satisfaction.